So good morning. My name is Brock Zevan. I'm a life coach, business coach, real estate agent, and a dad. And today is Figure It Out Friday. So good morning to you all. Happy Friday to you. Good morning. It is a little chilly here. So today is Figure It Out Friday, and this theme fits well in what I'm going to be talking about here. So for those that you were at the event yesterday, thank you so much for being here today, as well as being at the event yesterday. We had a really, really good turnout. Was very blessed and excited. Chad, Wendy, and I ended up having actually lunch after the event, and just very, very great comments, great feedback, and we are getting ready to head down to South Carolina to do an event down there as well. So excited to be doing that, as well as other avenues and ventures and hopefully companies in the next 30 days to be able to share with them what we taught you guys in the entrepreneurship world. And so as I was creating the Figure It Out Friday, I had to, and literally, here's one of my books that are next to me. Here is the other book that is next to me. And you might be like, okay, Brock, what does this have to do with Figure It Out Friday? Well, I have learned with the Extreme Ownership book that I have to take ownership of everything that I do. And I strongly recommend the book. So I'm going to take ownership. I forgot about Figure It Out Friday. So I forgot to reach out and put together a guest and put together some things. I did just reach out to a buddy of mine, Chris, and was just like, what do you got going on? So I was like, I got to start prepping for December. Next week is Thanksgiving. We will still be on, but I won't have a guest next week. So I was like, I completely forgot. Now, Brock, you have to figure out what you're going to say today because I didn't have anything planned. So I listened to videos each morning and I started to be like, well, let me go back and listen to some of these videos again. And I had a lot of stuff. Tony Robbins was one of them, Eric Thomas, Les Brown, Joel Osteen. I was listening to a bunch of them this morning. And then there was one that caught my attention. And then I reflected back to yesterday, my conversation that I was having yesterday with our success plan with our individuals who are there, attendees. And her name was Jennifer. And Jennifer asked me a question. And I felt like when I reflected last night, I was like, I don't know if I really gave her enough information. So I started to go back and go through some things, and it actually dove in a little bit deeper. Okay. And so when I said to her, the question was during the success plan is I put up my goal, and my goal was $1 million in 2023. And then I had it broken down in how I was going to get the $1 million. And then we were going through it. And her comment was, well, how do you know what to put in there if you've never done it? And I said to her, that's a very good question because I've never done this coaching at that level with that much money that I want to earn. So I'm really not too sure. And I was like, I got to figure that part out. And I don't think I did a very good job explaining it because I said to her, well, you just got to ask other people who make the business and go through that whole thing. And so I started to going back through the whole process. Okay. And then I started to think back, and there was an individual in the 1950s. And I said, man, this could be a really good thing because we don't know, and distractions all around us. So how do we know what to input into this? And so I went back in and I studied one of the stories. His name is Roger. I'm not going to say because I got to go through the story first. So stay with me. And this was in the 1950s. Okay. And there was something going on in the 1950s. And how many of us out here, how many of us think that the internet was really good in the 1950s? Yeah, it didn't exist, in case you were wondering, trying to figure that part out. There was no such thing as the internet. So the only thing you could go off of was word of mouth. And the perception at the time period, the 1950s, of what they were trying to do was they were trying to break the record for the 4-minute mile. And there was an individual by the name of Roger Bannister in 1954 who was setting out to be able to break this record. Now, at the time period that he was breaking this record or trying to break this record, he was told by doctors and scientists that, Stephanie, when these doctors and scientists were sharing this with them, they said that if you ran it that hard, that fast, in that short period of time, your heart could burst. So here it is in the 1950s, they are saying to you that it's very possible that your heart could burst and you possibly could die by trying to break this record. So here it is, an unknown. I don't really know. I'm second guessing it. Really, do I want to kill myself to try to break this record? Because we have no clue. And the only thing we have are the distractions around us by word of mouth. And the perception is that we could die if we try to do this. Now, how I tie this in here, and I'm going to finish the story, but the point of where I'm at this moment is to understand is how many of you have the perception. Dee sent me over her business plan last night. Love it, Dee. Thank you so much. For those that were on the in the business call or the success plan yesterday, feel free to send it over to me. And she sent it over to me, and she says to me, "Boy, I have a lot to do. I have a lot to work on." Holy smokes! Basically, I was reading in between the lines as she's sipping a cup of coffee, probably with a little Bailey's in it. After that, looking at those numbers, and I was like, "Wow, those are some pretty extravagant goals that you have there, right?" And I'm pretty sure it's safe to say, Sandy, that when I asked Dee the question, "Hey, have you ever hit that many number of transactions before?" What would you tell me, Dee? No. Have you ever come close to hitting those goals? No. Okay. And so when it comes time, when Jennifer asks me the question, "Well, Brock, how do you know?" I only have the pre-existing knowledge and the distractions of thinking this is crazy, and the perception that I'm really not too sure myself, because this goal is pretty high to try to hit $700,000 just in coaching alone. When I shared with you last year, I made 46,000. So the million comes with the 300,000 in real estate that I make, and then 700,000 in coaching. And it's like, how do you do that when you only made 46,000? And why I mentioned Tony Robbins earlier today, Manuel, was Tony Robbins. If you listen to Tony Robbins' story, when he first got into it, and I don't know if you know this, and Wendy knows that I listen to Jim Rohn quite a bit, that Tony Robbins worked for Jim Rohn. And Tony Robbins was a young kid trying to sell Jim Rohn's product. And he listened to Jim Rohn. And needless to say, we know where Tony Robbins is today, but he started with Jim Rohn and Jim Rohn's coaching and his mindset and where he is with this. And so when I listened to Tony Robbins and I heard his story that he started off with $38,000 the year before, and within 1 year, he made over $1 million. I was like, damn, well, if he could do it, I certainly could do it then. So then now inside of my head, and I said it to you yesterday, Jennifer, I said, well, what you have to do then is you have to talk to other people who reached your goal or reached what you want to go to or what you want. And that's why I brought in Mike Castor. Mike Castor did 137 open houses, and maybe you want to do open houses. So what you have to do is you have to network, and you have to change the perception that's inside of your head and the distractions that are all around you. And we have plenty because of the internet world of everything that we had here, but we have to figure out who we need to talk to. So the figure out theme is not so much how I figured out my past to get to where I am. You are in the moment of figuring it out. We are all in the moment of figuring it out. Give me a thumbs up if you are trying to figure out your life right now. Give me a heart if you're trying to figure out what you're going to do. Right, Dee? Both D's giving me the thumbs up on the video world. A lot of you in Facebook world, I'm getting it. But we're all literally today figuring it out right now. And I am literally right there with you. There's nothing different about me. I don't have any special books over here. I don't have, boy, I bet they wish they had this manual. Boy, they'd really get their goals. There's nothing different about me than any one of you on this call, because we are all trying to figure it out. Just like Roger Bannister did in 1954, when he says, you know what, I think I really can break this 4-minute mile. I'm pretty sure I can. And on May 4th, 1954, Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute record. And guess what? Roger Bannister lived all the way till 2018. So he defied the odds, he overcame the distractions, and he survived it. The record actually is now at 3 minutes and 43 seconds by some person in, I forgot what country it is, but it's one of those countries in the Olympics that those people run around like crazy people. And 3 minutes and 43 seconds. I don't even think I could bike ride that fast, a mile. But here's the thing, guys. For those that are listening, and hopefully those that are on here, the Claudia, Alicia, Manuel, Jennifer, Mike, Wendy, Stephanie, Sherry, Sandy, and I'm kind of going through what I see over here, and there's several others of you. When I ask you the question of how many of you right now are figuring it out, what does that mean to you? Because typically when we have lack of clarity, when we have fog all around us, it is very challenging to be able to figure things out. And the best advice I can give you today, okay? Best advice I can give you, Daniel. The best advice I could give you, Sandy, Wendy, D, both these, is you need to have the right environment and talk to people. I literally texted both of my coaches yesterday. And then I've been texting Chad, and like he says, like Brock texts me all the time. Like literally I text him all the time. I said, I need to meet with you today at 12. We got to go over a couple of things. I'm already planning different things, but I got to talk to people. I talked to my coach yesterday, I told Wendy, I said, I got to go to Nashville now. She's like, what? Yeah, I'm going to Nashville in December. I just locked in my flight and I got everything loaded, got my ticket, and I'm heading out there. $500, hotels, flights, everything else cost me about $1,000. Not whoop-de-doo, woes you, Brock. It's just to tell you, I have to invest in money to figure out where I want to go in 2023. Brock, you just did a class on him. I know I did a class on it. I know Chad and I did a coaching program, but there's another level of where I got to go that I want you to figure out yourselves today and understand, like, where is it in 2023 that I want to go? Where is it that I want to grow, Stephanie? What is it that I want to do, Jennifer? Because we can't go and have this as an answer. I don't know. I don't know will get you the same thing of 2022, the same thing of 2021. It will get you the same. And to be honest with you, in full transparency, the way the market is going, it probably will get you less. I don't accept less. I don't accept plateauing. I have to figure out how I can get in front of more people. I wrote down here, how do I not be the best kept secret? That is my question of 2023. So I challenge you today. What is your question? I challenge you today. Mine is, how do I not be the best kept secret? So on December 9th, I'll probably even email him before then, but he will know. And they will go and they will say, in this envisioneering, in this class that I will be in, coach will stand up and say, why are you here? And can you just envision this, everybody? Guess what I'm going to do? Pick me, please pick me. I have a question. This is why I'm here. I am here to understand, how do I not be the best kept secret, coach? That's why I'm here. I'm ready to go now. And I'm going to absorb, and I'm going to learn, and I'm going to take every perception of negativity that I have and every distraction that I have, and I will write notes down, just like many of you wrote notes down yesterday. But here's the thing. If you take your notes, whether it was yesterday, other classes, and you take them and you put them on a shelf and you don't use them, how many of you, give me a thumbs up, give me something, okay, to tell me that you've gone to a class and you actually don't even know where that notebook is. At some point of your life, have you done that, where you've taken notes and you really don't even know where that notebook is? Or how many of you, I just recently did this the other day. I pulled out a notebook. I was like, damn, there it is. I can't even, I forgot that I even put it in here. Right, Sandy? Right? Mm-hmm. Lawanda, yep. Absolutely. We've done this. Okay. We've got that practice part down. But what I want you to do, Stephanie, this year, I want you to go to an event. I want you to go to a coaching program. I want you to talk. It could be me. And this is not a pitch to my coaching program. I'll say that for the end. But no, seriously, what is it that you can do? What is your question of 2023? Because we all agree that we're figuring it out right now. We want to reach new goals. Dee already told me she wants to reach new goals. I want to reach new goals. Wendy wants to reach new goals. I get, how many of you on here? I know I love my thumbs up today. How many on here? Give me a thumbs up or something that have new goals that you want to reach in 2023 that you haven't reached before. How many of you on here? If you don't, you probably don't need to be on this call, because this is what it's all about, is reaching boundaries and barriers and breaking through it. Right, Alicia? Right, Manuel? Is figuring out how to reach goals. Now, there are people on this call right now. I guarantee it. Okay. There are people you met yesterday in our success class. There are people that you've been to an event. I told you I had no clue who Chad Free was prior to September of this year. Okay. In case you're wondering, that's 2 months ago. October, September. 2 months ago, I had no idea who Chad Free was. Yesterday, I coached with them for 3.5 hours and sat with him with Wendy for an additional hour and a half, breaking down how we are going to get better in 2023, how we can speak more, how we can coach more, and what that looks like. No clue who this gentleman was. As I said in my story, I listened to him on stage when I was in Nashville, and I said, I got to talk to that guy. I got to find out who this guy was. Justin Ford, a really good mentor of mine in Michigan, who I do the prayer call with on Tuesdays. I met him in Florida. Actually, Wendy and I we went skiing with the family 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years this January. I listened to Justin Ford's story. I remember to a T, I was driving back from the mountains and I had one of my earpieces in, because typically when I'm driving, I listen to some motivational speaker. I listen to a story of somebody. And I said to her, I said, I need to find this Justin guy out. She kind of like looked at me and chuckled. She's like, oh, I'm sure you will. I went down to Florida. I hunted him down. It was break. He'll tell you Justin's going to be on here at one point. And we were in break. I went outside and I said, there he is. All right. Look, I had to look at the picture just to make sure, because the video I was listening to was a couple of years old. And I said, hi, Justin, my name is Brock Zevan. I listened to your podcast about 4 times and I needed to meet you. To this day, him and I talk weekly. I'm on his prayer call, and he introduced me to Michael Burt. And Michael Burt is my coach today. Chad said it yesterday. If it wasn't for me, he would not be in front of it. If I wasn't relentless, we would not be friends. We would not be colleagues that we are. That is not an arrogant comment. That is not like anything except, if you want to talk to somebody, if you want to be involved, if you want to do whatever it is that you want to do, you need to figure out how to talk to these people. At one point, I will talk to Tim Grover. I enjoy the gentleman tremendously because of his books that he wrote, Relentless and Winning. Some of the people I can't talk to because they're deceased. But at some point, I will talk to some of the authors of the books that I've read, because my coach knows them. I remember he's like, oh yeah, Tim and Tony and Ed. I'm like, Ed? Like, he knows Ed Milet? Oh yeah. He knows Tim Grover. I was texting Tim the other day. I was like, I said, do you mean Tim Grover, the guy you just talked to? Yeah. See, it's all about your affiliation of the people who are in your circle and who you want to be around. And we said it yesterday. Why don't most people get coached or want to be around high level people? Is because we don't have the money for it. Erase that distraction, erase that perception, and figure it out today. Find a way to do it. I told you I got $24,000 that I got to find to pay the social media company to do what I need to do. If anybody has an extra 24,000, I will take it. We can talk about it on the side. Okay. Just a little, because I got to figure that part out. Right? Because taking it out of my savings account is the easy way to do it. So it's not allowed to, you can't do that. So I have to figure out another means to do it. I either got to work harder, find more people, work harder on coaching, find more events, find another for sale by owner. I have to figure it out. The easy way, there's no such thing. If there is, it's probably the lottery. And then really what happens is you have poor habits when you win the lottery and you'll be broke in about 3 years. And probably really devastated because then you're like, oh my gosh, I lost all this money. What the hell? Now, it is 8:38. I might have ranted. I might have went on several tangents. I don't even know. I figured out today to get through because I wasn't prepared today. And this is what happens when you're not prepared. You sound like you're all over the place. Hopefully I was a little bit put together. Hopefully this story wasn't too bad. I liked the Roger story. I thought it was a good one when I listened to it this morning. And so hopefully you were able to pull something of value out of this morning's Figure It Out Friday. And hopefully in this very moment, how many of you today hopefully have a little bit more clarity of somebody you need to talk to today? Who? Write down not only the question you want to answer in 2023, but write down who you need to talk to. Write down who you need to be involved with. And put that down. There you go, Manuel. He's got a few people. Amanda. Thanks, Amanda. I appreciate your comment there. Who is it? Who else has somebody? Sherry does. Who else has somebody that they written down right now that they're like, I know I need to talk to somebody. And don't think about money either. Money, you will figure out the money part if you want it bad enough. Claudia's got somebody. Who else has somebody? Think about it, guys. Like today is the day. You can change your life. Tony Robbins says it all the time. Stop waiting for New Year's. Stop waiting for January 1st. You could do it today. You could find this person on Facebook. You could find this person on LinkedIn. You can find this person on 411.com. You could find this person on Spokio. Stephanie's got somebody. You can find these people. They're very simple to be. And guys, they could be small interactions of people who are on this call right now. They could be people. Hey, you might text me, hey, Brock, how do I get in touch with this person? It might be me. Sometimes people say, I didn't bother you because you're busy. I didn't bother you because of people aren't busy enough to help somebody else out because we had to ask somebody to help us out. So the opportunity is there. You don't put inside your head that they're too busy. Exactly. And take action within 36 hours. By Monday, when we do this, I should be able to say how many of you got in touch with your person that you wanted to talk to. How many of you signed up for a coaching program that you wanted that you weren't going to do? I did mine last night. D, did I not say yesterday? It was 3:00 and I said you had till what time? 9? I said you had till 9 to probably make some decisions because by tomorrow morning, all this energy, this emotion, and everything that we have will disappear. It will go bye-bye. So I was making some decisions, just like I told people. I was making my decisions. When I preach it, I talk it, I do it. It's action. I said I gotta get out to Nashville again. Let me see when he's got. December 9th, booked it. That evening, booked it. I actually had to book it next to my cell phone charger because my battery was dead. When he's like, what are you doing? I said, I have to do this over here because my phone's dying. Okay. Too easy to say, well, I'll do it tomorrow when I have a full charged phone. No. I got 4 minutes open. Okay. Who's got a question for me? Does anybody have something that they would like to ask me, maybe on a business planning, maybe on a success planning, maybe on how I'm figuring something out, just like Jennifer did? How am I coming up with my numbers? How did I break it down? What does my mind mapping look like? Anybody got a question that they would like to ask me? You could put it in the chat. How am I making out? D, I can't hear you. I think we had some microphone problems last time too, so you can put it in the chat. Glenn says, how are you making out your goals for the end of the year? Well, I had 2 goals when I was talking to you guys. One is I had to have 7 listings by December 1st. Right now I have 3. I actually was telling Wendy today, I was like, I got to find 4 more listings in the next 2 weeks. And I knew, Glenn, I knew you would ask me that. And it was funny. I was saying that this morning. So yes, I got 4 more listings that I have to do. One of them, luckily I said you just had to get the listing. One of them I already got an offer on. So I took the listing on, I don't know what day it is, Tuesday, and we got an offer yesterday. So that one's going to be hopefully off the table soon. But so I do need 4 more. As far as my other goals, I am short on my coaching goal. But I am with clarity of hitting my goal of understanding where I need to be. So I did that. I reached my real estate goal. I did that. And then my personal goal was health wise. I hit that goal for that. So I actually have to do a better job. I told it to you guys yesterday. A lot of times when we do our goals, we undercut ourselves with limiting beliefs. That's why I brought Wendy in to help me. And now I have some really, really big goals that I'm like, I don't even know if I can hit that, but that's what you're supposed to think. Money to get started. I'm not too sure what you mean by that, Stephanie. On money, my coach tells me money is not the problem. The amount of money is not the problem. It's the amount of people is the problem. You don't have enough people you're talking to. You got to talk to more people. Yes, FSBO expired calls. Okay, go deeper if that's specifically deeper. I want to watch your training yesterday. How do I find the link? We are working on the editing side of that, Elawanda. We are going to have it for $47 to do the virtual live editing or the coaching that we did yesterday. So text me and I can get you that form and that link so that way you can get it. We should have it by Monday of next week if for those that would like it. So Stephanie, I'll reach out to you because I'm not too sure specifically, and it's 8:45. So I will touch base with you or send me a text message, and I will make sure that I answer that FSBOs and expired calls and what that looks like. Speaking of FSBOs and expired calls, I did add yesterday. I was feeling in the moment the Black Belt of Personalities webinar. I will be doing it December 15th at 1:00 for 90 minutes. I will go into my 5 main questions. I will go over my disc analysis. Some of you have been on it before. It's $97 for that webinar. So feel free if you want to be part of it. It will be on my Facebook page, Brock Zevan's Mindset Motivation. You can go to that and get it there. And if you have a personal question you want to ask me, we just talked about who's on your list. If you got something, if I'm it, make sure you reach out to me, text me, email me, call me, go on my Facebook, direct message me. We have the PowerPlayersElite.com. Power Players program is a monthly thing. It's not a yearly subscription. It's just once a month, and you get to have access to me. And you're on my Zoom calls, the group coaching calls. You get access to our live Facebook stuff. So a lot of good opportunities there. If you're interested in our Power Players, it's in both of the chats. And Jay, if you could add it to the Facebook chat. Guys, have a phenomenal weekend. It is a Thanksgiving week. So reach out to your sphere of influence. I challenge you to reach out to the sphere of influence, send Thanksgiving cards, just send Thanksgiving text messages, appreciate people, thank people, have a happy Thanksgiving. If there's Friendsgiving events to go to, definitely hit those up. I got one with Sarah today. I'll be going to another Friendsgiving. I got one with True Homes. So more and more events I'm going to, reaching out to people, engaging with people. And like my coach says, it's not enough money. It's enough people. I need to talk to more people, and that's what I'm doing. So guys, I appreciate you all. Happy weekend to you. Happy Friday to you. I hope you have a successful, healthy, and safe weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday at 8:15. God bless you all. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. See ya.